The terrace of the cliffside mansion shimmered under golden string lights, the ocean's murmur blending with clinking champagne glasses. The evening air carried the scent of jasmine and wealth, but a cruel edge sliced through the serenity. Vanessa, draped in a sleek emerald gown, her diamond earrings catching the light, pointed at Rosa, the housekeeper, who struggled under the weight of a massive garbage bag. "Look at her," Vanessa sneered, her voice dripping with disdain. "Her worth is in that trash." The words landed like a whip, silencing the guests. Rosa, a woman in her 50s with weathered hands and a quiet grace, froze, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. She pressed her lips together, maintaining her dignity, and continued her work without a word. Vanessa, tall and elegant, crossed her arms, her laugh sharp and performative, asserting her dominance in the household. The guests shifted uncomfortably, their murmurs fading into the night. Vanessa, oblivious to the weight of her cruelty, turned to Andreas, her millionaire boyfriend, expecting his approval. "Darling, doesn't she ruin the view? Crawling with that bag like some pathetic creature." Her smile was a challenge, daring anyone to defy her. But Andreas, a man in his early 40s with a strong jaw and piercing blue eyes, stood motionless, his face a storm of restraint. He'd built his tech empire from nothing, valuing loyalty and grit over flash. Yet here was Vanessa, the woman he'd nearly proposed to, exposing a heart he didn't recognize. His gaze shifted to Rosa, who'd worked tirelessly for years, her quiet strength the backbone of his home. Rage simmered, but he held it, letting the moment burn into clarity. Rosa set the bag down, her hands trembling but her voice steady. "Miss Vanessa, you may see me as nothing, but I give my all to make this place shine. I don't deserve your scorn." Her words, simple yet raw, cut through the tension like a blade. The gasped softly, some nodding in quiet respect. Vanessa's face twisted, her arrogance faltering. "You dare talk back?" she snapped, stepping closer. "You're just a maid. Know your place. I run this house." Her venom echoed, and several guests looked away, cringing at the spectacle. Andreas stepped forward, his presence commanding the terrace. His silence had been a gathering storm, and now it broke. "Enough, Vanessa," he thundered, his voice reverberating off the stone walls. "You don't run this house. You don't run anything here." The guests froze, glasses mid-air. Vanessa's smirk vanished, her confidence cracking under his icy glare. "What you did wasn't a joke. It was cruel, heartless. If you can't see Rosa's worth, you don't know me at all." Vanessa laughed nervously, reaching for his arm, her voice sugary. "Darling, it's just teasing. You know me. I'm not serious." But Andreas pulled away, his jaw clenched. "I thought I knew you," he said, each word deliberate. "But I was wrong." He turned to Rosa, his tone softening. "Rosa, you've held this house together with your work, your care, your heart. You're not just staff, you're family. You deserve respect, always." The guests murmured, some clapping softly, their admiration for Rosa swelling. Rosa's eyes welled, but she stood taller, her dignity unshaken. Vanessa's composure shattered. "You're choosing her over me?" she hissed, her voice rising. "I'm your fiancé, Andreas. She's nothing." The word nothing hung in the air, exposing her further. Andreas met her gaze, unflinching. "You're not my fiancé. Not anymore. I want a life with someone who values humanity over status, who builds up, not tears down. Roses taught me more about worth than your diamonds ever could." He slid the engagement ring from his pocket, placing it on the table with a quiet clink. The gesture was final, a guillotine to Vanessa's facade. Vanessa's face contorted, a sob escaping as she stumbled back, her heels clicking frantically as she fled the terrace. The guests watched in stunned silence, the ocean's waves the only sound. Andreas knelt beside Rosa, helping her lift the bag she'd set down. "Never again will anyone disrespect you here," he said. "I'll make sure of it." Rosa nodded, tears of relief streaming down her face, her quiet strength a beacon in the night. The next morning, Andreas called a staff meeting, announcing raises and protections for every worker in his household. He invited Rosa to share her story, and she spoke of her years of silent endurance, her pride in her work despite the scorn. The staff rallied around her, their loyalty deepening. Word of Vanessa's humiliation spread, her socialite circle whispering about her fall. She tried to salvage her image with tearful apologies online, but the damage was done, her cruelty laid bare. Andreas, meanwhile, re-examined his world. He'd been blinded by Vanessa's charm, but Rosa's resilience woke him. He funded a scholarship in Rosa's name for underprivileged women, ensuring her legacy outshone Vanessa's fleeting glamour. Months later, Rosa stood at a gala, not as a worker, but as a guest, her simple dress radiant with pride. Andreas toasted her, calling her the heart of his home. The guests, once silent witnesses, now cheered, their respect hard-earned. Vanessa faded into obscurity, her influence crumbling without Andreas's wealth to prop her up. The mansion, once a stage for her arrogance, became a place of warmth where every worker was valued. Andreas learned that true wealth wasn't in his bank account, but in the loyalty and dignity of those around him. And Rosa, the woman once called worthless, shone brightest, her quiet strength a lesson etched into the walls of the house she'd made a home.